architect for the USSR, and his team now plays the open court style made popular in the West. Sharonas Marciulionis is one reason why. Teaming with Alexander Volkov, they provide the Soviet nationals with a new breed of players. Ironically, here in the States, our juniors right off the street dream of playing the same style of basketball. Many want to run like the running Rebels of Jerry Tarkanian at UNLV. Last year, he led the Rebels to a #1 ranking, winning 37 of 39 games. But the nucleus of that team is gone. Remaining inside to shoulder the brunt of the responsibility is Jarvis Bassnight. And Mr. Outside is found on the patio. Gerald Patio's bombs are essential. Tonight, East meets West basketball diplomacy. Coming up next. They hold 18,500 here in the Thomas Mack Center. Good crowd is on hand here in November, and we're ready for the starting lineup. With those now, Mike Gallagher, done the Vegas way.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First, the starting lineup for the Soviets. At guard, number 5, Keith Salt. At guard, number 7, Sharonas Marciulionis. At center, number 14, Alexander Belostini. At forward, number 4, Alexander Volkov. At forward, number 6, Sergei Tarakanov. And one of the world's great basketball coaches, head coach Alexander Golmelski. And now, your running Rebels. Number 44, Jarvis Bassnight. At center from Granada Hills, California, number 00, Richard Robinson. At guard from Pasadena, California, number 30, Stacey Osman. At guard from Baltimore, Maryland, number 24, Boobie James. Head coach of the Running Rebels is Jerry Tarkanian.
We haven't had a tip as yet, but I will say this. Culture shock has already hit the Soviet players. The Soviets are in red. Nevada, Las Vegas in white, trimmed in red. And the tip won by Nevada, Las Vegas. Auckland looking inside. Hank Nichols, Dave Bibby, and Chuck Osborne, our officials. Bassnight has it down on the block. Marciulionis knocks it away. And the outlet to Sarasota. And he loses it out of bounds.
They really try to run quickly using the air pass as opposed to the dribble like most American teams do and pushing the ball up the floor. Bassnight turned the ball over inside. He's going to have to be their first option this year on the boxes. Last year was Armin Gilliam.
Inside, Volkov got around Bassnight in a hurry. 2-0. inside by Keith Solk.
Solk with the heady play, but you gotta like Volkov. He's a quick player. He was drafted by the Atlanta Hawks.
Patio is dangerous for three. Knocked away. Keith Solk retrieves it for the Soviet Union. And there you see the transition play. All the way, Marciulionis, 6-0, USSR.
That's not the kind of defense UNLV normally plays, allowing a guy to beat him to the goal. Nobody stepped in and gave any kind of help.
Remember now, the Running Rebels holding the couple freshman, albeit redshirt freshman, Carl Ruby James in the backcourt. There's Robinson, and again, Marciulionis with his arms waving, collecting the foul.
Ken, last year there were great inside-outside attack. When you talked about the Running Rebels, they had the downtown shooting ability of Freddie Banks and the strong power play of Gilliam inside. This year, they're going to have to get the wing jumper out of Patio and Batsnight on a box.
Marciulionis picking him up there. Again, the defensive abilities of Marciulionis. Ruby James off the front iron. Batsnight forward.
No one blocks out. Batsnight gets a good offensive rebound. You mentioned Carl James. He's replacing a really unheralded player in Mark Wade, who did a great job pressuring the basketball.
A foul away from the hoop against Ruby James. His brother Keith also on this club, a transfer from South Carolina, and of course he is the younger brother of Frank Spoon James, who played here at Nevada, Las Vegas.
And they all played at Dunbar High School over in Baltimore, played on the same team with Reggie Williams, Tyrone Lowe, David Wingate.
All for Bob Wade, of course, now the head coach at Maryland. Marciulionis. Boy, he made a quick move past Augman there, and he collected the foul down on the block. It's Patio that will pick it up.
Marciulionis has got that good hesitation, dribble. He's a very creative player. As we watch him right here, oh, great first step. I mean, he just throws him. There's the help by Patio. A little bit late coming over. Robinson over the top, 0-0.
He has been likened, Marciulionis, to Gail Goodrich, both in his style of play and just by his appearance.
He really is very similar. He didn't have a great game at all against the Milwaukee Bucks. In fact, Paul Pressey just locked him up. He said, Marciulionis, this isn't the college, baby. This is the NBA.
7-2, a 5-point cushion for the USSR. We're nearly 2 minutes gone here from the Thomas Mack Center, and Marciulionis again with the steal and the solo. 9-2 USSR.
He's very smooth, heady player, always anticipating what's happening on the floor.
He has 5 of their 9 points. Robinson. An air ball. Marciulionis all over the place.
That's a little walk right there.
Took the extra step.
Good call by Chuck Osborne, an international official, as we look at the father of basketball in the Soviet Union, Alexander Domelsky, who said, I credit my basketball knowledge to Red Auerbach, Bobby Knight, are 2 of my favorites.
He has all of their books. And, of course, he's written his own in the Soviet Union. Augman down low to Robinson. Got his man airborne, and again the air ball. Retrieved by Augman.
They're going to love Augman here. He's a quick athlete. He's not really a good shooter, Timmy, but he's a very active player at 6'8", and he plays on the perimeter.
Marciulionis. And drilling it is Karakanov. The other end, an errant pass thrown away, and the Soviet Union will get it back. They're up by 7, 11-4, with 17:08 left in the first half.
They love really to shoot that jump shot on the outside. They're always looking to square up and shoot the jump shot.
Good
what
pass.
a great pass.
Oh,
What a great pass. That was a lack of communication defensively by Jerry Tarkanian's team. That's a no-no.
Patio and Batsnight working the 2-man game, and the foul against Volkov. He doesn't like it, but Hank Nichols always wins when he blows the whistle. Alexander will find that out.
Hank Nichols, now the national coordinator for officials, has a limited schedule. But talking to Jerry Tarkanian today, it is very important. The mentality of a player changes as we look at Tarkanian now. You got a Batsnight who goes from the 4th option offensively last year to now becoming number 1 option on the inside. And the same thing now happens to Patio. Now he becomes a number 1 option as opposed to a 3rd option.
Here's a chance for Augman. The iron and kind, and it's taken away by Volkov. Near steal by Patio. Where the Greyhounds are off the bus for both sides. Tarakanov and a charge.
That's what we call team defense. They rotate over, they give help, he beats the initial defender, and then the secondary phase of the defense steps in and closes off the driving lane. And we saw that in practice yesterday. They put an absolute clinic on here during practice.
Ruby James is really having to learn the point spot. He was an off-guard all of his high school career. Can't get it to fall. I've got a bounce. Last touch by UNLV and the Soviet Savage.
That could be one of the problems for Jerry Tarkanian. He's always had the really outstanding point guard when he had his son Danny, and last year Mark Wade. Now he's turned that over to James, and James, as you alluded to, was a second guard most of his career.
Pete Salk. The rainbow won't fall. Tarakanov keeping it alive along with Alexander Bellastini, the big 7-footer. Here comes Patio from the patio.
Mr. Patio last year took 237 attempts from three-point land and made 87.
Soviet Union dominant so far, but still their lead is only 6. And the three-point play has come into effect for Gerald Patio already. Marciulionis. His first mistake there, but once again, his defensive pressure automatic. Augman fouled by Marciulionis.
Take the offense lead on the World Junior team with Larry Brown coaching. He was a great high school player.
2 fouls on Marciulionis, but the Soviets lead by 6, and basketball is here.
And as we rejoin the action now, that score has changed. It's 13 points to 9, and the running Rebels are beginning to press the Soviets.
No arch on that spiral. James to Patio.
Patio's got to be the firecracker. He's got to be the electricity. He's got to be the shooter. Remember, he beat Memphis State last year with 7 3-point bombs.
Vegas on a 5-0 run, and the defensive pressure now comes forth.
That's exactly the way they teach their team concept defensively, always giving help. The theme is you must help and then recover.
Tarakanov picking up his first foul. 15th foul now against the Soviet Union. Vegas now looking for the lead.
They keep it very simple on offense. They run a 3-2 set, put 2 on the boxes.
His defense is incredible. Marciulionis inside to Volkov, and the foul against Ruby James.
There's the anticipation. He steps right in a passing lane. Ball U-man theory by Marciulionis. Then they kick it out. Now watch the good look by Salk. Always pushing the ball up the floor. There's a power move inside by Volkov, and he gets banged over the top.
Alexander Volkov is really one of the more extroverted players that you'll find. This guy really enjoys the game.
Well, you saw him out here this afternoon. He's trying to shoot me for money. He's trying to do all these trick shots. I tried to con him a little bit, but I couldn't get away with it.
James coming out of the game. Stevanovic has come in for him. Stacy Stevanovic, the sophomore from Oxnard. Volkov unable to convert from the line. Gerald Patio again.
Can't let him shoot it. He's got one of the great work ethics. He's a pleasure to watch practice, Timmy. He really comes to practice every day and gives 110%.
That's his third three-pointer, and it's 15-13. The running Rebels with their first lead. Tarakanov counters.
Can't let them shoot that stationary shot. They'll beat you in horse every night, every day.
That time, Patio just lost it in anticipation of spotting up for the long-range bomb. Salk. Marciulionis is open. Gets right by Hawk. Knocked away and fouled by Bassnett.
Not a good effort at all defensively by Stacy Augman, who came out of Muir High School in California, rated as one of the top 4 high school players in California. Augman gets stripped right here. Marciulionis says goodbye. Augman said, "I never seen anything like that in high school," and there's the rotation to help and a foul.
Last night now forced to leave the game with his third. And here is Anthony Todd. Interesting fellow here, a transfer out of Lamar. And, Coach, this guy, a lot of people figured could handle a lot of minutes in the PCAA for Jerry Tarkanian.
He'll get a lot of PT. There's no question he's going to be a real fine addition for their front court. I look for him to play ultimately down the stretch a little bit more than you'll see Richard Robinson at what I call crunch time.
Keith James is also in the game. As Marcellonis can play. He's been on the team since '84, and no one has improved more quickly than Marcellonis.
And you don't want to shake his hand. I shook his hand today, and I'm going to tell you something. He nearly broke mine in half.
Pellicini dips in the missed free throw, and now suddenly the USSR back up. Finally, Patio misses, but Augman is there, and Marcellonis knocks it away.
He really has a lot of the style of Gail Goodrich.
But he's taller and more physical than Goodrich.
But he's not the player Gail Goodrich is. Believe me, Gail Goodrich was an all-pro super.
Foul away from the ball. Anthony Todd picks it up.
There's a lot of talk that after these Olympics, when they're completed in 1992, you'll start to see, well, even prior to that, you'll start to see the people internationally playing in the NBA. I don't think it's going to happen. I said once and I'll say it again, that I have a better chance of growing here and becoming a new sex symbol and replacing guys like Bruce Willis than seeing Marcellonis playing in the United States.
Gomelski, and we talked to him earlier today, he does speak broken English. He did not rule out the fact that Marcellonis and or Volkov could possibly come to the NBA after the games of '88. There's even talk of that.
But he said why? Remember when I asked him?
Yeah.
He sort of nixed it.
He said, oh, but they have such a good life in the Soviet Union.
Yeah, he did. He said they have such a good life. Why would they want that 8 months of that travel and that kind of pressure?
Coaches there, just like the ones here, have to be PR people as well.
He was PR at his best today. Now take a look right now at the defense. There's the help. Stepped in again.
Caracano.
They're not doing a good job at all, the running Rebels, in reversing the basketball. And they're reading that really well in their scouting reports. Gomelski's team, the Soviet Union, doing a good job playing that passing lane.
Keith James in the game now. Brother Booby is gone. He's seeing some prime time. There's Todd. Off the back iron. Taken out of there by Valery Goborov, who just checked in for the Soviet Union.
I like Todd. Watching him yesterday in practice, he has all those head fakes inside.
Karakanov was out of bounds. Dave Bibby there to make the call. And the running Rebels get it back. They're down by 5. Just under 12 minutes remaining from Las Vegas.
And the running Rebels are not a big basketball team. This man has a really organized workout. When you watch them practice, everything is charted, evaluated, and broken down into specific segments.
Staney, one of the veterans here, 27 years of age, averaging just over 10 points in the 4 games that have been played.
He's really the third best guy inside with Sabonis and Pachenko. In fact, that's what Coach Gomelski was telling us today. He said, well, you know, I didn't have my biggest guys against the Milwaukee Bucks. It would not have mattered. It would still have been a 30-point blowout.
Todd's shot was forced. Taken out of there by Goborov and Marcellonis. Operating and operating well on the baseline. And Keith James brings it down. Clint Rossum now in the game and in trouble in the backcourt. Stolen. Ordonitis throws it away.
You know what player they miss the most, the running Rebels? You could talk about Banks, and you could talk certainly about Gilliam, a dominant player inside, but this team is missing the trigger man, the guy that made them go, Mark Wade. He really counts on a point guard, and looking at his composition of this team right now, they're playing without a legitimate point guard.
Pete Salk back into the game now for the Soviet Union. They thought they would get Wade back. Jerry Tarkanian really believed he'd have that opportunity this year.
That was another matter of fifth year. Went to Oklahoma initially, but he was rejected by the PCAA.
Adio won't go down. Todd on the offensive board. And Patio.
Gerald Patio has to add another dimension to his game, and he's got to work a little bit more being an aggressive rebounder, and we saw it there. He's been nothing more than a stationary jump shooter.
Stoltz drives and finds Balestany. Run down by Rosson, and the Rebels look to run. Life's been tough for Todd down low, and he's fouled.
Get it back to the open shooter.
Cordonitis picked up the foul. Balestany looking to come out just as the replacement was about to come in for him, Victor Penfrushkin, but it's Goborov that will sit down as Penfrushkin comes in. And again, another big substitution, another tall guy brought in by Gomelski. Patio again, lights out.
He's got the area code jump shot. He's going to really improve his numbers this year in terms of scoring now that he's the primary option offensively.
13 points now for Gerald Patio, and we're tied at 22.
He averaged 13 points a game last year. This year he'll average about 22.
Ogman with the steal, and the solo will go. Tapped in by Patio.
And they're dancing in the aisles down here in Park Pink. All the Gucci girls are going wild, baby. They have Gucci Row. You pay $1,400 a ticket for a seat at the front row.
Yeah, that's right behind us. And from deep, Aldous Homicus. Keith James's shot won't fall. Homicus brings it out. Stoltz moving, and there's a foul on Anthony Todd.
Running Rebels are going to need a lot of offense out of Keith James. He averaged 12 points a game when he played at the University of South Carolina. He looks like he's a little bored right now. I was teasing him. I said, you beat Illinois State and San Diego State. Georgia Tech played without Hammonds and Farrell. I said, now you're going to start to play all the big boys. Vartanian and Knight and Dean Smith.
They're on their feet in Las Vegas. And the running Rebels trail the USSR by 1.
Let's move on with the action now, and after a period of scrappy play, the Soviets have increased their lead. 37-28, the game coming to life again.
Bobby Knight, Indiana. Boy, they have gone stone cold from the line, the running Rebels in the first half. Counted by Tarakanov. I knew I was going to do that at some point.
Tarakanov has got good range also as a shooter.
Yes, he does.
See, right now, they got to swing the ball, get a little more ball reversal.
Robinson.
He's not getting a good angle. He's catching the ball. Angles is so important when you catch the ball on a box.
Tarakanov bringing it down. And the bank. And it's open for the Soviets in Las Vegas. Aldous Homicus putting it down. 42-28. A 14-point lead. And now the fans getting a bit restless. Ruby James's shot won't go. Brother Keith is there, but is out of bounds. And it goes back to the USSR.
You were there yesterday, and I was teasing Vartanian. I said, maybe another 31 in 5 years. And some writer, I didn't know a writer was there, picks it up and puts it in the paper today. And I think myself, said, Jerry said, you're putting all that heat on me. I said, you know I was kidding, and they were kidding. This is not a vintage running Rebel team.
Homicus following his own shot. Now here's the 4-on-3. Turns into a 4-on-2 and 2 for Keith James.
James has got to give him some scoring. It's going to be a very good basketball team. It'll be in the NCAAs, but this is not a vintage great club like the two that went to the Final Four in '77 when my guy, Mr. Al McGuire, had his big day in the sun down in Atlanta, and also last year. It's not in that class.
Pete Stoltz. And Robinson knocks it away. Stoltz wanted goaltending there. Patio, yes, no, and the foul.
Gerald Patio likes the new attitude about being a scorer. Here we go right now. We're going to see the block inside by Robinson. There comes Richard Robinson. Hello, thou shalt not enter thy lane. And here goes Mr. Patio, the running Rebel. He spins and whirls. He says, get out of my way. Hangs. lays it down. Count it from out of junior college, Seminole Junior College in Oklahoma.
Stoltz got caught that time with the lean. It appeared that he had bodied up, was in position to collect the charge, and then leaned in, and that's what brought the person.
And you're trying to lean into me to demonstrate it. You almost stopped me in the third row.
Back to basketball. 42-33. That time, Holmachus had no idea where he was throwing the ball, and he's vehemently upset with Hank Nichols right now. So I'm sure Hank doesn't really know what Valdez is saying to him.
Hank Nichols is such a pro. He doesn't care what anybody says. He's in total command at all times.
James picked up both feet, the shuffle step.
He's struggling. The James kids are struggling right now, but it's a whole new environment for them.
Keith James played well for Bill Foster while at South Carolina, and I guess the first thing he must learn here under Tark is the style of play defensively that was Tarkanian.
I was teasing him yesterday. I said, Keith, if you don't lock it up and play on a defensive end, you're going to get no BC and become an assistant coach.
Eric Hanoff with a fine first half, putting it down 44-33. He now has 13 points.
They have good shot selection. They get good ball movement.
Patio with the rainbow.
That's really another dimension to his game, the driving game. As we said and alluded to earlier, he was nothing more than a stationary shooter in the past.
And the foul on Volkov, that's 5, and Patio was in position in the lane.
Volkov is a relentless driver.
Well, we won't see much of him tonight, will we?
There he is now, head is down, has no vision where he's going. There is Patio stepping in, doing it defensively and offensively. Hey, you know, when you talk about potential players to lead the nation in scoring, Percy Hawkins is going to put big numbers up at Bradley, Byron Larkin at Xavier. But you got to think about this kid, Patio, now with the style of play here, and with them going to him as often as they do as we watch Volkov go to the bench.
Patio.
You know, that's only 4, I believe, on Volkov.
Yep.
We've been calling he had 4, but I believe now they're signaling that he only has 4.
And a walk against Goborov. We were handed this information, so that's the reason I was about to ask you, wouldn't you be taking him out with 4 fouls with 3.5 to play?
Well, he didn't do it up in Milwaukee against Trace him around. He kept Volkov on the floor in the entire second half.
And when you consider how well his other big people have played. James off the back iron. Robinson can't bring it down, and here comes Marciulona. Well, he looks fresh. Stoltz, count it.
Stoltz gets the easy basket, but Marciulona's made the play. Routine, pulled up the foul line, just like a clinic, and dropped the bounce pass.
An 11-point lead. UNLV has played well in spurts. Their offense has really been set up by defense. Robinson rejected by Pankrushkin and Goborov. Out to Rossum. 10 seconds are left now. You see the clock in the lower right-hand portion of your screen. Rossum rejected by Tarakanov, and that's the end of the first half. The Soviet Union got out to a big lead. UNLV got to within 1, took the lead at 1 point. Trail now by 11 points, 46-35 from the Thomas Mack Center.
Let's join the action in the second half now. The Soviets still have an 11-point lead, 48-37.
Tarakanov bodies up and buries it.
Tarakanov with a wide open jumper. No one closed out. Tried to take away that jump shot.
Rossum. Nothing but nylon for Clint Rossum, the native of Las Vegas.
Well, Rossum gets the jump shot. Jerry Tarkanian searching throughout his pre-season practices, trying to find somebody to play that point position.
It's a 10-point game suddenly. And there's a steal. Augman in the right spot. Fast night. Nice dish by Stacey Augman there on the 3-on-1.
Bastide's a very quick player. He's got good legs. Played at Bourbon Day High School. Grew up in Detroit. Played 3 years there. That's the same school that produced Roy Hamilton of UCLA and David Greenwood.
And once a 13-point lead in this half, now dwindled to 8.
They got to do it with their defense. They got to lock up, force the turnover, try to get a steal and get a layup.
Rossum with the foul. Tinkanenko also started the second half for the Soviets, number 9 in red, and Volkov sitting down, obviously with the foul difficulty he had, saddled with 4. And there's Rossum. There's Tinkanenko, one of the drafted players that we mentioned earlier.
Jerry was ecstatic today getting news that George Ackles, a 6'10 player from out of Garden City, the same junior college that produced Keith Smart, who starred last year for Bobby Knight. Oh, look, they had a quick layup to Marcellonis. See, that's just a no-no defensively. Getting caught staring at the ball, you must see the ball in your man. Marcellonis just took advantage of the running Rebels there.
Ogman with his first personal foul. And Marcellonis at the line. Neither team's proficient at the line in the first half. And Marcellonis toes it now. The 10-point lead now for the Soviet Union.
They're hanging close enough to make a little run. Get right back into this game.
That's where the problem begins, Coach. Right down there on the baseline when they make that entry pass. They can't turn against the pivot people of the Soviet Union.
Well, what's happening really, their post play down inside is now recognizing the double team. There's the entry inside. Now he's got to kick it out. There's 3 people surrounding him. They're deflecting the ball. He's not posting up really strong, Robinson. He's got to post up strong with his body.
3 minutes gone in the half. Patio off the back iron. Robinson keeping it alive, and Marcellonis begins the 3-on-1. Tinkanenko is fouled. Rossum doing the only thing he could.
When you're attacking 2 against 1, notice how they move the ball back and forth to really make it difficult for the defender to play them. Take a look right here. Marcellonis, he gives it up. He's going to get it back. Oh, that's the second sequence. He gives it to Tinkanenko. He says, come on, Tinkanenko, score. I want the assist. He says, I want Vital to call me a PTP'er.
Tinkanenko been on the Soviet team since '85. Perhaps their most versatile player. They can use him in the backcourt. He's also been efficient down low. Mike Fratello picked him up in the 7th round of the draft.
He's an automatic shooter. He really has got great touch.
An 11-point game, the Soviets with the lead. They've led most of the way. Unlv got a quick lead by 2 after making an 8-0 run in the first half.
Oh, nice play right there. Robinson with the slam dunk. But Bastnight with an excellent pass for the big fella. 44.
He really set it up. 53-44, a 9-point game. Karakanov lost it. Homacha stealing it, and then Robinson getting it back.
The running Rebels will stay in every game because of the defensive pressure and because of Jerry Tarkanian. His staff does an excellent job defensively. That's a tough entry from up on top.
And the foul called against Bastnight.
Well, he was going through what we call the swim stroke. They're emphasizing that this year, calling that post play, not allowing him to establish that swim. He's trying to swim over the top Bastnight, and they get him for the foul.
Marcellonis. Well, he nearly had to steal again. After a missed shot, look for him on the defensive end. Robinson for 3. Tinkanenko with the foul up the back of Bastnight, and he got there quickly.
Bastnight's playing a little bit more aggressive right now. I was talking earlier about Jerry Tarkanian's staff and the job they do at practice. Timmy Gerkovich is certainly a head coach. And he does a great job. And there's Jerry right now with his staff.
Ralph Readout also there.
And when he took Paul Pressey, a lot of people said he couldn't shoot. That's what the word is right now on Stacey Augmon. But I think he has that kind of potential to be a Paul Pressey style of player.
Marcellonis with the foul. That's his 3rd. Are there any deficiencies within his game? Because a lot of people say that he would have immediate impact no matter what NBA team picked him up.
I don't know about immediate impact in terms of stepping in and start. Certainly for certain clubs around this league he couldn't play with, I don't think, in terms of a immediate dominant role, but he certainly could play at Houston. You think Bill Fitch would like to have him with that great front court of Rodney McRae, Ralph Sampson, and of course the best center in the game today, Akeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Karakanov back into the game after the injury, replacing Sharonis Marcellonis. Robinson over Ballestani.
I like what I see out of the big guy. I think there's a new look Richard Robinson. I think Richard is going to be a factor on the boxes for the running Rebels.
Ian Todd in the game for the same time. Something you may not see a lot of this year as the season progresses. And we've got a problem away from the ball. And up Gimpy right now is Pete Stoltz. Hank Nichols quickly blowing the whistle because of the injury.
I told Jerry Tarkanian today I was going to pick him on my own. Hank, I have a defensive team. He said, really? He said, who else is on it? I said, you have to watch the TV.
He's shaking it off. He'll be all right. Hank Nichols exercised his option to halt play and did so. Almatis. Volkov with a good speed. And Ballestani is just Iron Man down low in the second half.
Well, they're getting him the ball right around the basket, and plus he's got so much size and strength over the kids.
Vegas. Keith James. Perhaps a sign of things to come this year.
He's a good offensive player. He's just got to have a little bit more confidence here in the system.
Robinson with a rejection. Almatis, and there's Ballestani.
Oh, I like it. I like what I see out of Richard Robinson. They got to love it here. Standing ovation for the big fella. Uh-oh. Here goes Richard. Go get it, Richard. Oh, yeah. I'm a little prejudiced, by the way.
I don't think America would mind tonight. Down low, Robinson on the offensive end. Back in your face from Alexander Volkov.
Volkov said, hey, I could do the same.
Karakanov still impressive, even with the injury to his hip. 62-52, and the Soviets allow the UNLV team into it, and then they take them right back out of it.
I don't know if they allow them into it, but they always seem to come up with the big play.
They sure do. Just when the crowd gets into the game. There's a steal by Patio.
He's got to give it up.
He'll take the three. It won't go. That could have been a big mistake, but Todd puts it down.
Todd had some big numbers out at Lamar. He played 3 years out at Lamar.
Had some great games for Pat Foster. Now at Houston, who was coaching at Lamar at the time he was recruited. Karakanov's shot won't fall.
Oh, there's a foul right there. They got to blow the whistle in the back door.
They did. Karakanov picks up his fourth.
Jimmy, I can't wait for the real season to start, but this is just a little bit preview. North Carolina, Syracuse, Jimmy Boeheim. I'm picking you to win, so you're in trouble, Mr. Boeheim.
Oh, we've got 180, how many more? Something like that. It's an 8-point Soviet lead.
And as we rejoin the play, that gap has narrowed. It's now 65-61, and this man, Patio, is threatening.
Anthony Patio goes into a triple threat position. They take away the jump shot from him. He uses the jab step, crossover move, and explodes to the goal for a layup. I like Mr. Patio. He's going to be a big-time scorer this year.
That's just the second two-pointer for him. They've all been threes.
Look at him scrap defensively.
Marcellonis to Pankrushkin. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Soviets. And the running Rebels have the people on their feet at Thomas Mack.
I love this kind of defense, Timmy. You always have a chance to get the win when you play on a defensive end. That's been the trademark of guys like Bobby Knight and John Thompson.
Fast night. And a foul. And Krushkin was over there along with Ballestani. And Krushkin gets the foul. Big guy. From the profile side, looks a bit like Henry Finkel. Remember him?
Finkel, I remember him from out of Jersey City. Played with the Boston Celtics. You're dating yourself. Henry Finkel was one of the favorites of Bob Ryan, the noted columnist and writer of the Boston Celtics, the Boston Globe.
I was watching Twyman and Jackson back in '71. I watched those games. Jarvis Fastnight has had a much better second half, particularly on the defensive end. You commented earlier, he really didn't pick up his pressure and his intensity here in the second 20 minutes.
He's an experienced player, and they need his contribution. We're tied, baby. Remember, the Soviet Union has not lost against the college team. The running Rebels are trying to post the W against them.
There's a foul. Anthony Todd picking up the personal away from the ball.
Shows you, here's an example, as you pointed, shooting 34%. The other club shooting better than 50%, and the running Rebels are tied. There's Anthony Todd's fourth foul. He's going to contribute along that baseline.
He toured in Europe with the NIT All-Star team not long ago. From San Diego, California, and as we mentioned earlier, a transfer from Lamar. He scored 37 points in the game. He's had his moments offensively. He's coming out now, and Robinson returns to the lineup, and we needn't tell you the kind of second half he's had.
Whether they win or whether they lose, when they line up again, it's 0-0. But the thing is here tonight, very positive for the running Rebels. They found an inside player, especially defensively, in Richard Robinson. His confidence has to be really high after this performance.
Last night,
Scored a goal. Scored a goal. That's goaltending.
and Gomelski and Ivan Edeshko, the assistant, are off the bench in a hurry.
Well, you know, he was the fella that threw the pass when Beloff beat the United States in '72 in that controversial game when they stole the gold medal.
67 all. Barcelona's will take it.
Last night really becoming active, number 44.
Robinson.
New Richard Robinson.
We've seen a culture exchange down low as the big people from UNLV become a factor. There's a foul. And Robinson is on Valentini's team.
They have really picked up the intensity defensively, and it's been because of the play of Robinson. It has become contagious with everyone else, Timmy. They are locking up inside. Outside action right there. Good execution. That wasn't happening earlier, Tim. That's good execution. The ball goes down in the post. You attract the double team, kick it back out.
3.5 left. And now the Soviets have seen UNLV come back with quite a run. Ivanovic picks up the foul away from the ball against Barcelona.
Yeah, he really did grab him right there. There's a look at Stacy. Stacy really digging in defensively, trying to deny the ball and keep it out of the hands of Barcelona.
Guard at Santa Clara High School.
Played under his dad. His dad was his high school coach.
3:24 left. He doesn't have the towel, but he's certainly pacing over there. Barcelona's with an opportunity now to tie the game.
Jimmy Barcania wants to win in anything he does, whether it's marbles, checkers. The only thing he doesn't win in is when it goes down to reach in the pocket to pay the tab for dinner. He's like yourself.
Now, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. To the game along with Pete Stoll.
Patio's really been quiet the last few minutes. I got a feeling they're going to try to pop him out.
One of the reasons has been the defensive play of Tarakanov. With some elbows there by Tarakanov, and he's caught by Bibby. And James wanted the tee. Keith James trying to help, trying to get the technical foul there.
Keith James is going to become a valuable player to this team because he has offensive ability, and they're going to need that kind of balance in terms of scoring. They can't just have Patio carry the whole show.
Patio down.
That's Timmy Gershowitz right there, the former coach of Pittsburgh, who is Jerry Tarkanian's lieutenant.
And Tarakanov leaves the game, and he also a lieutenant. Soviet Army.
Remember, Timmy, the new rule in college basketball, the rule that really is significant this year in terms of a rule change, any deliberate foul or intentional foul is a two-shot foul plus possession of the basketball. That is big.
Ivanovic.
He has good touch. He's got good rhythm, good follow-through. He played the role of Steve Alford, and they said he shot the ball so well, he looked like Alford. Alford had 33 in that great game between the running Rebels and Indiana in the semifinals.
The sophomore from Oxnard has given UNLV a 2-point lead with just over 3 minutes left.
See, right now, Stacy doesn't want Barcelona to get the ball. Well, he bumps him off the screen.
With the rebound, Gerald Patio. Boy, he has worked on his ball handling, hasn't he? From 3. Yes! He's worked on it.
Nothing but net. Gerald Patio.
It's a 5-point game now. 29 for Gerald Patio. And here comes the pressure. Volkov is open. Fast Knight with the rebound.
Now they got to use some clock, use some time.
Hart's got the towel now.
He wants the W. They got to spread the court, get some good spacing to eliminate a double team.
Well, Robinson wants the ball.
Well, he's not a good free throw shooter. Shot 34% last year.
See Bellastini, number 14 in the middle with the elbows. Down low, Robinson. That has been a Ward down under. And it's out of bounds, and Marciulionis and Robinson nearly get with it.
Not a good play by Richard Robinson. Robinson, I thought, gave a little cheap kick right there, Timmy. The ball. Show some discipline. This is a great learning experience for these kids. I mean, it even makes it even better and sweeter if they get the W.
Patio. James! Keith James!
Interesting to see the combination Jerry Tarkanian's playing with down the stretch.
It won't fall for Holmgren. And Robinson gets the rebound. And it's come apart for Alexander Gomelski's team the last 4 minutes. Remember, they have knocked off 4 consecutive teams. From the collegiate standpoint, they were blown away by the Milwaukee Bucks in the exhibition. Since that time, they have run away and against good opponents.
But you know what's interesting right here? This kid has done a good job defensively. It won't show in a box score. Stacy Stianovich is a coach's son, and they play so heady. Have you ever seen a coach's son not play with real good court awareness? I know there's one down at Lexington, Kentucky getting ready to play, but I name is Sean Sutton.
And we know what coach's sons always do at the free throw line. Yep, and you knew it had to happen. I might as well get it out of the way in an exhibition. Volkov.
Yeah, he's a jammer, he's a runner, he's got good quickness, very limited in his shooting ability.
Volkov.
See, now that, if he's not going for the ball, if he is trying to stop the clock, that's a 2-shot, and also take the ball out of bounds.
I don't know. He forgot for a moment, Dick, that he had 4 fouls. He forgot that he had 4 fouls. He knew he had to give up a foul, but it could have been someone other than Alexander Volkov in the last minute of play.
Well, he was on the basketball, but what I liked was the guts of the official to make the call, and that's going to be important this year, that the officials make that call when they're trying to deliberately stop the clock with no intention to play the ball.
His intensity in the second half. It's made a big difference. Remember, he's the team leader for this club.
He's got to give him that scoring inside that they had last year. He doesn't have to certainly duplicate with Armin Gilliam. He's not in that league, but he's got to give him 15, 16, 17 points tonight.
And the running Rebels are set defensively with 51 and counting left.
Well, as I told you earlier, as Barcelona throws up the three-pointer, I told you earlier in the PCAA, it'll be once again just very simply like if you had a matchup between Michael Tyson and Emmanuel Lewis. It'll be a total mismatch as the running Rebels will be number 1 and everyone else will play for number 2.
Cordonitis gets the foul. They must foul now, obviously, and Bass Knight will go back to the line.
We talked about this about 3 minutes ago, Tim, you and I, about the two-shot intentional foul and possession if you're not going for the ball, if you're deliberately trying to keep the clock. The officials really going to have to stay on top and interpret whether or not they're making an attempt to play the basketball.
Once again, no one on the line for UNLV. And he does still have the towel, doesn't he?
Now you know why he not only makes my all Hank Iva, but he makes my all wacko.
Yeah.
Can you believe Coach is 57 years old chewing a towel? I was a wacko, but I didn't chew a towel.
Marciulionis trying to do it all, and Robinson knocking it away. Boy, if you're looking for a guy that does the best second half, Robinson 11 rebounds, 14 points. This makes 6 block shots.
He's got more rejections right now than Springsteen has albums out on a top chart.
And putting it through for 3, Aldous Overton. And a foul again against Fortunitis.
They're arguing a little bit right here. Fortunitis and Belastani are really going at it with each other.
That'll happen from time to time. I recall doing volleyball in an exhibition against the United States, and many times that'll happen. You'll see the Soviet players sometimes because they really get on themselves about technique at times, and of course the Tarks and the Sharks that are with him are out right now.
Jerry Tarkanian's team really works on technique defensively. That's the sliding, up and back, a lot of foot movement. Well, it looks like another big year here in Running Rebel country in terms of posting a lot of W's. Once they get through their pre-conference schedule and get into the conference, you're going to see a lot of W's come his way.
The 6-point lead for UNLV.
Got some attractive dates. They play Temple. It's an air ball. They play Temple. They play the Preacher, LSU. They play Houston, Providence. They got some good, exciting pre-conference games.
Fortunitis with another foul. It will be inbounded. Oh, now there was an overrule. Osborne overruled Hank Nichols, and the Soviets keep it.
He's been doing that all night, stepping down that lane and beating the Vegas kids for inside play. Jerry's really got to be upset with their play along the baseline and handling the inbounds of the basketball.
He said before the game that this could be the most talented team that his team would play all year. And we certainly know that the Soviets have a great deal of talent. Marciulionis can play in just about anyone's league.
Whenever you're incorporating a new bunch of kids into a new system, this has got to be a great win, beating an experienced team like the Soviet Union.
James, to Stoyanovich. Will he? Not if Marciulionis has anything to say about it.
Count it, though. Count it.
You count it.
Look at Clark, gets the handshake. Now we'll get him to spend some money, take us out for dinner.
It's not even Thanksgiving, but the Tark is giving thanks.
They love him here. The Father Flannery